30-15.
Once the Australian volley, if we christened it now, just too much of a swing and got it too late.
Yes, in fact that was slightly more conventional. Perhaps caught a little in between the two. But a little stab would have done it.
Well, now it's Woodbridge's turn to vent his rage at himself.
Yes, and the serve really is not softening Courier up quite enough.
Break point. Well, that was a great pickup on the half volley from Courier.
Courier leads by 2 games to 1. Final set.
Yes, that was a terrific point by Courier, really, just exerting pressure when it needed to be exerted, and even though it wasn't a volley as I suggested, it was a half volley, and he managed very well.
It's extraordinary that in 4 of the 5 sets, one player or the other has got off to a 2-love start. Courier did in the first and second, Woodbridge in the fourth. Looks like we've got another bug.
Plenty of advice from the wags.
Oh, well, that's a brilliant shot.
Well, there goes my little theory about his backhand. These sort of backhands that he was hitting against Tarango, but we haven't seen too many of them tonight.
Oh, and rather it looks as if Courier is now beginning to apply the torture that he was suggesting he would if Woodbridge could win the fourth set. We talked about the significance of Woodbridge's love service game in the middle of the last set. That may be equally significant. One thing is for sure, Woodbridge has got to win the next game.
Yes, Courier certainly turned the tide against Woodbridge now, chiefly because Woodbridge is suddenly struggled in his last serve and is making no really impression on the Courier serve. Last 3 games, Courier's won fairly comfortably on his serve, and that must be just a little worry, because it means that without being pressed on his serve at all, Courier's got that much more energy left to chase the Woodbridge serve.
Just remind you, you're watching Eurosport's live coverage of the final match of Day 5, although it's become Day 6 of the Ford Australian Open. And after this, we will be looking back on another day of great tennis, big surprises. I do hope you'll stay with us through to the end of our coverage at, if I remember rightly, 6 o'clock UK time tonight, 7 o'clock Central European time.
Thank you. Those are ready. Thank you.
Love 3, final set, Woodbridge serving.
Well, he didn't expect it to come back. It was a huge effort by Courier. It seems such an ordinary miss, that. It's where I would really like to see Courier trying to take that ball on the rise and hammer it home on his way to the net.
As Woodbridge needs a few more serves like that, a few cheap points. Well, there's a lovely variety here. That short one, in a way, forcing Courier in, perhaps against his will, coming in on the one-handed slice. So Woodbridge opens his account in this 5th set.
Courier leads by 3 games to 1.
And looks around at the crowd as if to say, come on, I need you now.
Love. Love. 40 love.
Eleven successive points now. Courier's won on serve as he came from 15-30 down in the first game of the set.
Game, Courier.
And one of the really hard men of tennis, physically and mentally, is making it hard for his opponent in the fifth.
Final set.
Yes, I think the chances of that happening were very strong. And one's got to think of the experiences of these two. This is fairly new territory for Woodbridge. He's only played that many third-round matches, only once ever reached the fourth round of a Grand Slam event. Whereas Courier's probably played near a score, just about 20 third-round matches, and won more of them than he's lost. So for him, this is a well-traveled road. And even though he has, like Woodbridge, an unsuccessful 5-set record, nevertheless, it's generally, I suppose, against classier opponents than Woodbridge that he's lost those matches.
Yes, obviously he lost a 5-setter here last year, but that was to Pete Sampras. True, I mentioned briefly the crowd. I mean, you've been a Davis Cup player, albeit in a slightly more genteel area, but you've been a Davis Cup captain recently. How much can a crowd lift a player who must be exhausted physically and mentally when he's down like this?
Oh, I think it can make the difference of a set, really, depending on your own personality. It can get some people down, but the majority of players, it does really give a tremendous injection of spirit and energy too. I think the chances are, had this match been played at the US Open, that it would be finished. Courier would have won.
Just a little bit late on the shot, a tired looking shot.
This is a big point, because should Courier win it, he'll sniff a double break and victory.
That old combination again. Serve wide to the forehand, then go to the backhand.
Courier leads by 4 games to 2. Final set.
And so we come to the vital 7th, as Dan Maskell, the late Dan Maskell, would have said. And what a difference it will make. The difference between being 5-2 or 4-3.
Thank you. Thank you.
And by such tiny margins, a match is won and lost. Could so easily have dribbled over to be a dead net cord.
Superb point. Because there was a freedom about Woodbridge's play there, which was heartening, really.